Another one is recommended airlines. Okay, that's it. Same po ba kayo ng route or may recommendation kayo na mas simple at mas safe na ruta para okay. The simplest and safest route to get to the Philippines. That's it.
All the roads are safe.
Yeah.
Because when you travel, you stay in the airport.
Yes.
The airport is very safe place. Okay, Ethiopia and Qatar, they are a lost Muslim people. If you are not used to see or watch that kind of people, you will gonna feel a little weird in that places, but it's a new experience. You must learn about, meet another cultures.
Yeah.
And your purpose is travel to your final destination, huh?
Yeah. Oh, the food in Ethiopia is really good. I could still remember the food that they gave us. It's delicious. Yes, in the airplane, it's delicious. Good service. It's good. You know.
It's more flavored. I think. So,
Yeah.
because in Qatar Airlines, it's very light. You know.
Yeah.
They have a good quality food, but very light.
Yeah.
Not much seasoned.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was delicious too.
Yeah. Hopefully the next time we can go back to the Philippines using Turkish Airlines.
I want to use. We're gonna use that airline.
Yeah, because he likes to travel. He likes traveling. At the same time, he also likes to use different kinds of airlines because he wanted to experience,
I
for
use BOA.
experience.
It's from Bolivia.
Yeah.
I use it's not Barrick. It's Brazilian airline. I use Avianca. I use China Airlines. I use Ethiopian Airlines. I use Qatar Airlines. I use Philippine Airlines. I use Cebu Pacific. I like that airline because the airplanes are very clean, very spacious.
How about Philippine Airlines?
No, the space is very
Small.
small. They don't offer nothing, water, nothing.
And you know what? We had a bad experience on Philippine Airlines when we are coming back to Bolivia from our vacation in the Philippines because we only have we almost lost our flight from
Manila to
Qatar.
Qatar.
Right? Because it was
the airport
late.
is very full of people.
It was delayed for an hour.
The people in the customer service there in front line of the airlines.
Check-in. In the
A
check-in.
disaster,
Right, exactly.
They don't help you.
It's chaos, and we almost lost our flight because we only have 1 hour, I guess so, and then we almost lost it. So yun yung experience namin. That was our experience with the Philippine Airlines.
I prefer
Cebu Pacific. Okay, anyway, iba-iba naman tayo. We have different preference or iba-iba naman tayo ng mga experience or preference, no. So, yung asawa ko, because naka-travel na siya ng Cebu Pacific and Philippine Airlines, that is why he was able to differentiate. So, niya yung difference with these two airlines. So,
okay, my recommendation, don't be afraid to travel to Philippines. It's a beautiful country, and doesn't matter the airlines that you choose, the way to you choose, go there. It's a nice experience. You will gonna like it. I love Philippines. For the reason I married with this girl.
Okay, so asking me one more question. What money did we use in the Philippines? Of course, we are not bringing. My husband did not bring Bolivian. Of course, he was bringing dollars. Because in the Philippines, it's dollars.
In any country, you can use a Bolivian money.
You can
Only
use
in Bolivia.
Bolivian. Mostly, it's dollars. Even in the airports,
In
dollars.
every
right?
country, you must bring dollars. For change to the
always.
local money.
Not Bolivians, okay? So, because she was asking because her friend is having a trouble somewhere here because of the crisis. So, yeah, there's a crisis here going on in this country. And so the dollars, mahirap.
You must find dollars. If you don't have dollars, you cannot travel.
You cannot travel because you cannot use Bolivian money in the Philippines.
For example, when I travel to USA, I try to find dollars. I bring my credit card for use there.
Yeah, just to be safe. Credit cards can be used in the Philippines, right?
Yeah.
Credit cards can be used in the Philippines. Tell your friend Rona, credit cards, pwede siyang gumamit ng credit cards, but dapat rin siyang magdala ng dollars. You should also bring money with you, dollars, because in the airport.
And you can change your dollars in Filipino peso in the airport. Use the Filipino peso there in Philippines.
Yeah. Okay, so yun lang.
And the credit card, you must talk with your bank first for being able to use in Philippines in the country, so you will gonna travel.
Yeah, so dapat mong sabihin sa kaibigan mo na dapat mag-ano muna siya doon sa bangko if yung credit card niya is pwede bang gamitin sa Philippines.
If you don't do that, you can use in the country.
Yes.
You must talk with your bank first for they be able your credit card to use in that countries before to travel.
Exactly. So yun.
And they ask you for many days you will gonna do your credit card to be able to use it in. For example, I usually travel for 25, 30 days to Philippines, and I always put 50 days. You know, if you don't know if you're gonna stay or something happen.
Yeah.
Okay, I say 50 days or 2 months, 60 days. Even if I don't use, when I return, I say, okay, stop it. I don't want to use it anymore in Philippines for a day. It's a safe way to you don't have scams with your credit card in another country. Yeah?
Yes, also. And you know what? The only thing with the credit cards, using of credit cards in another country, sometimes you have to be very careful because you have to check all the time, because my husband was able to experience that when we were in Cebu. When we were in Cebu, nag-check-in kami sa hotel. I will not say the name of the hotel, but the credit card na swipe twice. Tapos, nag-appear dun. Buti na lang, my husband always check his credit card.
Always.
And then, he found out na dalawang swipe, dalawa yung na ano doon, na resibo. So, kinontak niya ulit.
It's like they make me pay 2 times.
Yeah. So, you have to be very careful in using credit cards in another country. Not only in the Philippines, but also in another country.
Even in your country, you must check all the time in your cell phone the status of your credit card and check what is the money that you pay every day when you use your card.
That's the only problem when using credit cards. But it's in this time, because na it's crisis here in Bolivia, I prefer to use credit cards and money because pahirapan talaga ngayon ang dollars. It's very difficult to find dollars nowadays dito. So if he's traveling this month,
But
or
anyway,
next,
you must find dollars for travel.
yeah, you must find. You need
Because
it.
you need cash,
Yes.
not only the credit card.
Yes. But in the airport, they also accept credit cards, right? In the airport, they also use credit card. But it's very important to have cash with you.
Of course.
Very important. So you can find, your friend can find, dollars here.
It's making a noise.
Okay, so yun.
Our child is playing for that reason with that noise.
It's making a noise. Okay, so yun lang. Yun lang yung that is the airline recommendation. Now, we can recommend to you based on our experience, on the experiences sa aking husband, because my husband has traveled a lot. Ako naman, hindi ako pwedeng, gusto kong sagutin to talaga, matagal na, kaso lang, hindi kasi ako traveler. Ito, nakapag-travel na to kahit saang bansa. By the way, I have a question. So, her friend maybe is a Bolivian,
yeah,
and is traveling to the Philippines.
Okay.
So, you have to go to an agency, right, to buy your ticket. So, what is your recommended?
It's not necessary. Okay, you can buy your ticket online, internet, but it's more better if you make your ticket in an agency, travel agency.
Yeah.
Why? Because they offers the best connections,
Yeah.
and they explain to you the hours do you have, the airlines, and they explain everything to you must do before to go to your final destination.
Yeah.
This is more better because if you will gonna make a long travel, like go to Philippines, it's more better that they give you the advice that you need for have a good travel. But anyway, if you have the experience, you can buy it in online. For example, usually I have a sibling to have a travel agency, and sometimes I buy to him, and sometimes I buy for myself online. Of course, when I travel buying tickets to him, he wins a little the fee emission. Okay, they must win a little, no? But when I want to buy for myself, it's more cheap.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
you have the risk if you don't know it very well, you don't choose the best connections, maybe it's very short connection and you can lose your flight, your next flight. For that reason, if you don't have the experience, it's more better with a travel agency. If you are the experience, let me, buy online. Because...
Okay, so, aside from that, we also recommend you to buy the ticket really from Santa Cruz. You buy separate tickets, right? Yeah, that's the
is
secret.
the experience too, I prefer buy my ticket Santa Cruz, Sao Paulo, Santa Cruz for myself.
Yeah.
And buy my ticket Sao Paulo, Manila, Sao Paulo in a different ticket. Why? It's more cheap. Okay, if you make only one, they call it one plane ticket from Santa Cruz to Manila, it's a little more expensive. Some things you can do too if you want to have a more cheap ticket. You can go from Santa Cruz to Sao Paulo in a bus.
Yeah.
It's more cheap. Of course, you must travel for 26 hours in the bus. but the ticket is very cheap.
Very cheap. Yeah.
And then in Sao Paulo, you use the airplane, of course, for go to Manila. You have many options. You must play with the options that you have.
Yeah. That's also one thing that he told me about it. That because I thought before he bought the ticket like from Santa Cruz going to Manila, like no, but he buy the ticket separately. And also when you arrive to Manila, only in Manila, because if you're going to travel to another city or another province or in a
Cebu,
province, Cebu, or
Dumaguete.
wherever your friend is. For example, is in Cebu, you have to buy a separate ticket also
From Manila to Cebu, because if you
Yes.
buy a ticket directly Santa Cruz to Dumaguete or Cebu or Puerto
It's very-
Princesa, it's more expensive.
It's very expensive because we were trying to find
Your final destination is Manila.
Manila. Yes.
And then in Manila, you must buy before, of course,
Yes.
one ticket from Manila to the
The
city or the
provinces.
place to you want to go.
Yes,
It's more
that's the
cheap.
secret of traveling the eye. So I didn't know about that. Yung nagsabi sa akin yan is itong asawa ko, ganyan pala kasi para makatipid ka. So ganyan pala yung sekreto. Kasi we were trying to find Santa Cruz to Cebu. Grabe! Ang mahal ng ticket, day. Kasi gusto naming ma-experience sana Cebu. Gusto naming doon talaga yung namin Cebu direkta. Sobrang mahal. As in talagang mahal. So no dyan. Doon tayo sa makakamura tayo. Especially if you're traveling with the family. That is the best way to do. If you're traveling alone, do it. Okay.
If you travel alone, it's more easy because
Yeah.
you can have a long travel, a long connections
Yeah.
with many hours. You can sleep in the floor of the
You
airport.
don't have to
You don't need to worry about your child, your
Yeah.
wife. You know, the adventure is more fun
Yeah.
when you travel alone. But anyway, and when you travel alone, you can find more cheap tickets because
Cheap tickets, yeah.
because the connections sometimes are even where the connection is for 2 or 3 hours, the ticket is more expensive. But if the connection is for 10 hours, for example, it's more cheap. But in 10 hours, you go to the airport, you visit the airport, you walk, you eat the good food there in the airport, you meet the people, you enjoy it for 10 hours, and then you go. No, but sometimes when you are with your family is tired, they want to rest, they want to sleep. Again, for that reason, it's more better travel alone. But anyway, travel alone with your family is fun.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I guess yun lang. That's it. If you have more questions, you can message me in my YouTube channel or you can message me on my Facebook page. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again next time. Adios. Ciao.
Bye.